This is the Traeger Pro 575 wood pellet smoker and grill. It makes backyard cooking taste better with less effort, because I can set a temperature, walk away, and come back to food that actually tastes like it lived over a wood fire. I think of this as a do-it-all backyard cooker for people who want real smoke flavor without managing a fire by hand. If you have juggled guests, kids, or chores while trying not to burn dinner, this is built for that life. It is also a great step up if you are coming from a basic gas grill and you are curious about smoking ribs, brisket, or pork shoulder, but you want an easier path than lighting charcoal and adjusting vents for hours. The design looks classic on purpose. The barrel shape gives me even heat and room to stack food on 2 levels. The finish on mine is a warm bronze that still looks clean after a few storms. The frame is powder-coated steel, and the weight feels reassuring. I can roll it across a patio by myself thanks to the big wheels, and it does not flex or squeak when I move it. The pellet hopper sits on the side and holds enough pellets for a long cook, easily an overnight pork shoulder. The grates are porcelain-coated, so they release food easily and wipe down without drama. There is a small metal bucket that catches grease on the side, and the drip tray under the grates is the piece I cover in foil. When I am done cooking, I peel off the foil, swap in a new sheet, and the grill is ready for the next round. Nothing here is flashy, but every piece matters when you are actually cooking and cleaning. Setup was straightforward. I set aside an afternoon, followed the instructions step by step, and it went together cleanly. Seasoning it was simple. I ran it hot with a thin coat of cooking oil to burn off any factory residue and to protect the surfaces. Connecting to my home Wi-Fi took a few minutes the first time. I used the mobile application, found the grill, and gave it my network information. Since then, it has been reliable. I can start preheating from the kitchen, check temperatures from the living room, and tweak the cook without hovering next to the lid. It feels like using a smart oven that happens to live outside and burn wood. Day-to-day use is what sold me. I pour pellets into the hopper, turn the dial to the temperature I want, and the controller brings the grill to that target without me touching anything else. The D2 drive system adjusts the fan and the auger automatically, so temperatures stay steady even if the afternoon turns windy. Preheat time is quick enough that I can season meat, grab the vegetables, and it is ready to go by the time I walk back outside. I appreciate how calm the experience is. No flare-ups, no guessing, and no fiddling with dampers. Performance is where I feel the difference compared to my old gas grill. Smoke flavor from hardwood pellets is rich but balanced. If I cook low and slow, I get that gentle kiss of smoke that builds over time without turning harsh. When I turn up the heat, the grill behaves like a steady oven that just happens to be outside, which is perfect for roasting vegetables, baking pizza, or finishing ribs. It tops out around 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which is plenty for most jobs. For steak searing, it does not hit the same blazing heat you get when you drop a steak over a bed of white-hot charcoal. I get around that by preheating a cast iron skillet on the grates for a few extra minutes and searing in the skillet. The crust is great, and the inside stays juicy. I would still choose a dedicated gas or charcoal burner for a fast, aggressive sear on very thick steaks, but for everything else, this is more than enough. Temperature accuracy has been dependable. Low smokes stay low and stable for hours without big swings. I have done an overnight pork shoulder where I went asleep, woke up, checked the mobile application, and the temperature graph was basically a straight line. The built-in meat probe is a small metal thermometer that plugs into the controller. I use it a lot for roasts and brisket. It lets me track internal temperature without opening the lid and dumping heat and smoke. The readout matches my handheld thermometer within a degree or two, which is good enough for backyard cooking. Real-world tests have been a lot of fun. I smoked a pork shoulder until it felt like softened butter, and the bark had that deep mahogany color you want. I did ribs with a simple salt and pepper rub and a little brown sugar, and the bones pulled clean without turning mushy. I grilled a whole chicken on the upper rack, while the lower rack handled a tray of seasoned potatoes and onions. I have squeezed a whole chicken, a rack of ribs, and a sheet pan of vegetables into one run with room to breathe around everything. On burger night, it fit a mountain of patties. The manual says it can handle 24 burgers, and based on what I have done, I believe it. Pizza on a stone comes out with a crisp base and a hint of smoke that tastes like a backyard pizzeria. I even baked chocolate chip cookies on a cool night just because I could. They picked up a whisper of wood aroma that made them feel special without turning them into campfire cookies. One of my favorite use cases is hosting friends. I will season a pork butt in the morning, set the grill to a low temperature, plug in the probe, and let the D2 system and the fan do the hard work. During the afternoon, I can actually hang out instead of babysitting a fire. If I need to speed up or slow down the cook, I nudge the temperature from the mobile application and go back to the conversation. When we switch to sides, I raise the heat, throw on asparagus with lemon and oil, and everything finishes together without me running back and forth. A couple of smart touches make life easier. The Wi-Fi control from the mobile application is not a gimmick. It frees me from hovering and gives me confidence on long cooks. The controller is intuitive. Turn the dial, press to confirm, and it does what you told it to do. The application also nudges me when it is time to clean. Maintenance is simple. I empty the grease bucket when it fills up. I keep the drip tray covered with foil so cleanup is just a peel and replace. Every few cooks I vacuum ash out of the fire pot with a small shop vacuum. None of this is hard, and it keeps performance consistent. There are a few things I would love to see improved. The searing strength could be hotter. The grease management design works, but it is not as refined as some larger or more expensive models. Accessories like a cover or extra probes are sold separately, so if you want the full setup, it adds up over time. Wi-Fi has been stable for me, but if your router lives far from the backyard, it is worth checking your signal or adding a range extender. Pellets need to stay dry, so I keep them in a sealed bin in the garage, which is one more thing to remember. Even with those nitpicks, the flavor is exactly why I keep using it. Real hardwood pellets deliver something propane cannot. Chicken breast comes off juicy with a light smoky perfume. Burgers taste meatier. Vegetables take on a sweet roasted edge. I have used this grill more than my kitchen oven on mild evenings because the results are just more fun to eat. It also stretches the idea of what a grill can be. It smokes, roasts, bakes, braises, and grills. I do weekday dinners without stress, and I can also put on a backyard party without feeling chained to the patio. If you are curious whether a pellet grill is worth moving to, this one makes a strong case. It brings real wood flavor and steady heat without the hassle of managing a live fire. If your priority is the absolute hottest sear on thick steaks, a dedicated gas burner or a charcoal chimney will still be the faster path. If you want versatile cooking, reliable results, and the freedom to step away while dinner does its thing, the Traeger Pro 575 delivers in a way that feels honest and repeatable. It has become a tool I trust, not just a toy I use a few times a year. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the Traeger Pro 575. Thank you for watching.